Good day, beautiful soul family, and welcome back to On Another Level. And Divine Spirit was talking to me about inheritance, all right? Inheritance, humanity's inheritance. And so, you know, it's about property, it's about land. So in Genesis, we go back to Genesis, you must go to the beginning. That's what doctors do whenever you come to have like a visit. They look at your baseline and then determine um, how your health has fluctuated. What are some pinpoint things? What are some things that sticks out? And so, um, and the vice president is telling me, and then able to prescribe medicine. They can't just give you any old type of medicine. It could be something that would give you a reverse reaction, or it may make you sick. You may be allergic to it, right? So, anyways, what I was getting, Divine Spirit was telling me about land and property. And so, as you look out, what do you see? You know, the earth was created with us in mind, okay? And so the earth is our beautiful home. Now, because of wickedness, unapologetic wickedness, Cain was driven from the land. The land saw Cain and sees Cain continuously as a fugitive and a vagabond. A fugitive and a vagabond that is given the measure of grace, however, because Divine Spirit had marked Cain so that way nobody would look for Cain and kill Cain out of vengeance. And so, of course, didn't see that as grace. So he hid, or he went to the land of Nod, city of Nod, land of Nod, which I'm thinking is kind of interesting because there was just the Garden of Eden. Like, how do we determine that that was the land of Nod, except for in Divine Spirit's word? So that shows me even more how Divine Spirit brought about grace on Cain's bloodline. Okay? Um, because the name, I believe, is called Wanderer. Of Nod is called Wanderer because that's what he was doing. He was wandering. He became a wanderer because the land was mourning over the bloodshed of Abel. You see, because as you go within with self-love, self-care, self-nurture, we are part of the earth, and the earth is very much part of us. And the earth is living. It's alive, okay? As we are alive. And so the land, the earth mourned when it heard also the cry from the blood of Abel. Now, we get upset when police, they kill the innocent, but we get even more enraged when they are loopholes that sets them free. And so I'm not trying to create an uproar. I'm just a messenger of truth. And so, anyways, it's back to property. So you look around and you see, okay, what is, as I mentioned before, about covering like shoes, is a barrier. It's a blockage. Now we have come to find that these bridges and these highways and these buildings, apartments, houses, they're all made out of a certain material. It's concrete. It's all bringing forth division is because they felt divided. In And it just lets you know what's going on. Who's the true makers of this matrix? All right? Matrix. All right? So what we get from that is May trick. So as we're caught up in this May trick, we're like, this is not my beautiful home, right? This is not my beautiful earth that was given to me for free. It was a gift made and given out of love, right? So what's so interesting is that, as I mentioned before, Divine Spirit helped me to see that, you know, those that are seen as the actual fugitives and vagabonds, they can't work on the land. They cannot work on the land and have the land produce. So they will enslave the very people. It's like killing two birds with one stone. They will enslave those who are of the land because the land will produce for them. But the land will not produce for fugitives and vagabonds, especially when they continue to do the same actions of their ancestors today. You see, it's one thing what you do in the past, okay? But it's another thing when you continue to do it. When you are unapologetic. Now that is another thing. And so Divine Spirit is saying it's about inheritance. It's about stealing something, an inheritance that is not theirs. Now, what I thought was very interesting, and as I mentioned time and time and time again, those that are of that bloodline, they have an opportunity to bring forth change, but they simply choose not to. And not only that, beautiful soul family, in the Bible, it talks about Jezebel and the king. So there is a king who had so much land, had so much stuff, right? But he wanted the land from the Israelites. And so in the Mosaic law, it states that it is a sin to sell your land, and it is a sin to have people take your inheritance. As a person takes your inheritance, something that is not yours, of course, we see that it's stealing. Now, when a person steals, it's because they want something that is not theirs. They don't just take it, they observe it as not being theirs, and and it's called covetousness. So they take something that is not theirs for the simple fact because they want it. So we are not supposed to take from others, and we're not supposed to sell our inheritance. So Satan is about stealing, killing, and destroying. What? Property. What? Land. This is what they've been doing for a long time, and they do it unapologetically. You know, there are people who will do things unapologetically because they feel like, according to their distorted perception, that they have every right to do it. And this is what we have to understand. They do not have a right to do it, but they still do it because this is them actually carrying out their characteristics of being a fugitive and a vagabond. You see, they say that all I'm doing is being a messenger, okay? So throughout slavery, they stated that certain cultures came from animals and they're fugitives. But what they were doing was really truly speaking about themselves. So this is deep. We have to understand really our land, the earth, and the matrix that is going on around. Have a beautiful and wonderful day. Namaste.